Hello everybody, how is it going? So, we're looking at law lists post Banlist. I think the meta is definitely going to shift to Zoro, going back to looking like OP03 Zoro. Definitely going to be a lot more little bodies swinging at you again, I believe. And Newgate is pretty much out of the format, so this is kind of what my idea was for this upcoming format, I guess you could say. Is that, honestly, this list is very similar to what I was playing in OP02, minus I actually included the starter deck Zoros, but that's what we're looking at. We still have 4 Otama. I mean, this card is great. It is kind of just removal in law, being able to reduce, like, say Ace, for example, is a 7k, just make him 5 and being able to swing into him, like, 5 or 6 times, you know. This card will almost out any big body that you decide to reduce, unless it's like Big Mom or something. And obviously for Nami, I mean, come on, the card's great, searches everything you want, except not really. Bonnie does that. But I went back to 4 Rush Zoro, as I don't think you need starter deck Zoro anymore. He was mainly there just to be a 6k body that you could play off of your law blocker. And it was good into Whitebeard because he couldn't, always be over your character. You were at least even with his leader. So, yeah, that's why I think going back to 4 Rush Zoro is the move. Obviously, 4 to Dawn, card is crazy. And I chose Vista instead of Robin. Robin is great, but I think with Zoro heading back to being a really fast deck rather than the mid-range he is now, that Vista, you just need Vista to keep up. You won't have to worry about Buggy because Zoro won't be playing Buggy, so him being slashed doesn't really matter. So we just really want Vista to be fast and be able to clear their bodies early game, so we don't have to deal with a ton of pressure for fun, Also, Vista is just generally better off of playing him again off of our blocker law, so it just makes sense that going back to 4 Vista, if you're expecting aggressive Zoro to come back, just made sense. 4 Makino, one of the better 2k counters in the game. Just randomly lets you attack with Nami for free, or even like Chopper sometimes. Comes up. 4 Chopper, obviously. Chump blockers are basically 3k counters. They're really good. 4 Brook, again, another really good 2k counter. Basically he's technically a free play, but not really. But kinda. I'm running the 1 Luffy. This card is cuttable. I'm iffy on it. I'm always kind of iffy on running this card. It's good in the scenarios that you need it. Like if you're trying to get past a bunch of blockers, obviously, if you see them, it's great. But a lot of the time, I always want to bounce my red cards into green cards. And obviously, running 4 blocker law, this will never change. 4 Beji, this again could change. You can cut one, like a Beji or 2 Bejis, honestly. 4 Bonnie, won't change. 4 Restand Law, you could play 3 if you want to make room for something. And the 1 Jet Pistol. So the Jet Pistol and the Luffy are both kind of like flex spots. You can kind of play whatever you want. If you want to, you still could play a Radical Beam. If you want, you could cut this Luffy and play 2 Pistol. With pretty much the only deck that's going to be reviving Marco being Ace, you could, put this card at 2, because it's pretty decent, and it's good in the mirror. It's good in, it's like okay against yellow, just removing like one of their triggers or something. But, I mean, your yellow matchup is already really good, don't worry about that. Pistol is very mid into Lucci, so, running the 1 doesn't feel bad, because it can randomly come up and be really good, but not always. So that's the list we're looking at. I'm mainly expecting Zoro to come back in his OP02 form. So this is very similar to what I think you'd see a lot of OP02 lists playing. I'm trying to think what else I think is going to be really popular. Yellow will probably see another rise, because no more Whitebeard, but their matchup kind of just got worse into Zoro, so maybe it won't. This deck kind of goes 50-50 with Lucci. Vista sucks in that matchup, Pistol sucks in that matchup, but you can kind of outvalue them late game if you can actually establish your board. So that matchup's pretty even. I don't think any of these cards will really help or hurt that matchup. What else is good? Crocodile, Crocodile, I mean, you still do fine into them as long as you can get your board established. If they bottom deck and bounce everything, it gets a little bit hard, but late game, which you'll probably survive too because they're not a super fast deck or anything, you should be able to get going. What else is good? Honestly, those are all the decks that come to mind. And I think the main one I'm thinking about is just Rush Zoro and No More Whitebeard. So I feel like this list makes the most sense to me. If you guys have any ideas going forward, I thought about playing like an Ezo package with like 4 Vista, 4 of, I think his name is Haruta, the one that equips a Dawn, and like some other cards. You could play 5-cost Marco yourself. I don't think it's very good though, especially because we only have 1 Beam now, and Beam is really the only event I would want to play in Law. We have, you could run the 1 pistol, but that's obviously not going to come up to revive him very much at all. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas, let me know, and this is what I'm working with right now.